We saw and understood where the enemy aimed achieving
Deputy Secretary of Defense William Lynn and other top military officials conducted a briefing Wednesday on the upcoming final request for proposal for the KC-X tanker recapitalization program. Last year, a consortium including Northrop Grumman, Eads, and Airbus originally won the contract bid. Boeing protested, and officials with the Government Accountability Office agreed that there were some irregularities in the contracting process.
The warfighter has set out what they need. We think the 372 requirements that we've laid out will bring the Air Force the plane it needs to bring to the warfight on day one, and we have retained those requirements, and we retained the structure of the evaluation system that we've used for those requirements.
Deputy Secretary Lynn says proposals are due 75 days from today, and the DoD has 120 days to review the proposals. He says a decision should be made around mid-September. Testimony on the National Defense Authorization budget for fiscal year 2011 continued on Capitol Hill Wednesday. Secretary of the Navy Ray Mabus, Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Gary Roughead, and the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General James Conway, appeared in front of the House Armed Services Committee. The leaders said the budget will help the Navy and Marine Corps meet its missions.
With this budget, the Navy and Marine Corps will continue to maintain the maritime superiority of our forces, sustain a strong American shipbuilding base, and ensure our capacity for rapid global response.
This year's budget aligns our baseline budget for operations and maintenance accordingly and reflects a significant shift away from supplemental funding. I strongly request your support.
With your continued support and that of our loyal countrymen, we'll do whatever the nation asks us to do and do it exceedingly well.
General Conway also told the committee that recruitment and retention are at all-time highs, and he predicts that for the second year in a row, the Marine Corps will close out reenlistment opportunities for first-term and career force Marines at the halfway point of the fiscal year. The U.S. Navy plans to repeal its ban on women serving aboard submarines. That according to Defense Secretary Robert Gates. Secretary Gates signed a letter February 19th informing Congress of the Navy's plan to lift the policy. However, no change can take effect until Congress has been in session for 30 days following the notification. Navy Secretary Ray Mabus and Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Gary Roughead say Navy leaders have looked closely at the issues involved with integrating women into the submarine force, including close working conditions and sleeping accommodations. No money will be spent to reconfigure submarines to accommodate female crew members until the Department of the Navy presents a phased approach plan to Congress. 2 alleged car thieves ran through one of the gates at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. The car was stolen Monday night, and during the early morning hours Tuesday, the car was involved in a police shooting and crash. As they approached the gate, the suspects were confronted immediately by members of the 56th Security Forces Squadron patrols. When the individuals attempted to drive through a roadblock and toward an Air Force patrolman, the military member opened fire, disabling the vehicle. NATO security forces and Afghan troops found and destroyed drug and weapon caches while patrolling in Helmand province Tuesday as part of Operation Moshtarak in southern Afghanistan. Coalition forces are slowly making their way through the town of Marjah, still facing small pockets of resistance from Taliban fighters. Marines involved in the offensive say it's going well.
I'm not sure if anyone put a timeline on exactly how long it takes to clear the Taliban from Marjah. It is one of the largest areas and largest population centers in the Helmand, and so we knew it was going to take some time, and I think we're right on track.
Coming up on Around the Services, soldiers face a hidden enemy off the battlefield. We'll explain. But first, bilateral buddies. The United States and Japan team up to train. We'll take you to Guam for Cope North next. Stick around, Staff Sergeant Josh Hauser is back with more.